French inhale. I like the way you French inhale. Do it again. French inhale. I like the way you French inhale.
You don't gotta sell it, cause it's already sold. And you don't gotta roll one, cause it's already rolled. Check out my technique, just weed, let it.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Rob with All Out Vapor. I'm back at you one more time. So a quick shout out to my boy Paul. Me and him put together that intro, so thanks a lot, Paul. So on with the video. The reason I made this video was because I had someone ask me what are the side effects of vaping, and I didn't want to answer him at the time because I wasn't completely knowledgeable if there were any side effects or if there weren't any. But this is what I came up with. These are my honest and raw opinions about what I came up with. So first off, vaping is not completely healthy. It's merely just a healthier alternative. Excuse me. And vaping will make you burp a lot. But anyways, vaping is merely just a healthier alternative to smoking real cigarettes. You will get your nicotine fix, and that's the reason why many people vape, opposed to wearing the patches and nicotine gums, which failed. I've never personally used the nicotine patches or the gums, but I know that the success rate isn't that high compared to what I found out about vaping. It's a lot better because many people do have an oral fixation with smoking, which I did. Because, there'd be times I'm out with my buddies and, we're having a couple drinks and I have a cigarette in my hand, and I'd have a really bad habit of chain smoking over and over, and I can go through a whole pack in 4 hours, and that's, insane. That's way too many cigarettes. So what finally made me stop was when I found out about e-cigarettes. And right now I do have an Ego C Twist that you've seen in my other video. And if I wouldn't have come across electronic cigarettes, I'd still be smoking. But what really made me stop was that I did feel like it was affecting my health. I started to get short of breath, and I couldn't do the things that I would normally be able to do if I wasn't smoking cigarettes. So when I came across these e-cigarettes, it was a wrap. I tried one and fell in love with it. Real talk. I really like vaping. So anyway, nicotine, which is the main component in e-cigarettes and cigarettes in general. So I found out that nicotine can be compared to caffeine. Caffeine and nicotine are both stimulants, but with nicotine, nicotine does constrict your capillaries and it will raise your high blood pressure. So if you have blood pressure issues, that's one reason to stop smoking. But if you can't cut it cold turkey, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I guess start vaping. And the thing with vaping is you can get as high as 48 milligrams of nicotine, which is on the high end. That's the highest I've ever heard. I guess you could make it go higher if you wanted to, because you can't mix your own liquids and you can choose how much nicotine you want, but I don't know about that. So I normally vape on 18 milligrams, but like I was saying, you can go from as high as you want and work your way down to zero nicotine, which is eventually my goal. I've asked myself how long I want to be vaping for, and I just haven't come up with an answer yet. I don't know. I like vaping. I love vaping, and it definitely keeps me off cigarettes. I still occasionally, want a cigarette, but I just vape on. So, from what I found is that nicotine won't cause any diseases. It won't cause you to get cancer. It won't cause you to have these holes in your throat. It's not gonna do that. That's all just the chemicals you find in cigarettes. So as I was, looking through some data, I found that the American Lung Association, now these guys are completely against smoking e-cigarettes. They say it's bad for you, this and that, but yet they go on to say is that they have no data, and I quote, since there is no data about cigarettes, so on and so forth, they advise that you the consumer not purchase them. But yet they didn't say anything about in um in that whole thing. They weren't talking about cigarettes, just e-cigarettes, that they're bad for you, but yet they didn't mention, by the way, smoking cigarettes also, it's bad for you. I mean, come on now. So anyways, the what I also found is that the FDA found that there were five main chemicals in e-cigarettes, and of these five chemicals that were found, all are approved by the FDA, but yet the FDA wants to have bans on e-cigarettes because they can't regulate how much nicotine one person is consuming at a time. But yet, okay, anyways, no, no, I'm not gonna talk about that. But the UK right now, they do have a ban on e-cigarettes. I don't know if it's still in effect, but at one point in time, they did have a ban on e-cigarettes because the FDA can't regulate how much nicotine you get. So these e-cigarettes, they're allowed in pretty much anywhere. You can vape anywhere, and you can take these e-cigarettes where you couldn't take a normal analog cigarette. You can hospitals, airplanes, restaurants, bars, so on and so forth. And I haven't, as a vapor, I haven't been doing that as much as I'd like to. I feel like I just don't want to have to go on an explanation with everybody I encounter, like, hey, no smoking in here, and then I have to, talk to them about this and do all that. I don't want to have to do that every single time someone asks me. I don't want to be, at the grocery store and, vaping away, taking tokes, and people are like, yo, no cigarettes, and then I have to tell this guy, and I keep going down, yo, no cig. I mean, it's just gonna go on and on and on and on. So, I mean, if I am out in public, I'll take like a silent toke or a little secret one, and you can see there's no vapor compared to that. So that's just what I do, but I mean, you can take these anywhere if you choose to. I I just choose not to, flaunt that I have an e-cigarette or do all that stuff. I just I don't want to have to explain to every single person over and over again. It gets old because I've already done it. I've already had to do it with people that are in my immediate circle or my family, and stuff like that. I have to explain it, which isn't a bad thing, but when it's over and over and over and over again, it definitely gets repetitive. But anyways, I'm just ranting on. So many e-cigarettes have something called the smart chip, and in these smart chips, they will regulate how much nicotine you can get in a set amount of time. And some e-cigarettes, like the ones that look like they resemble the analog cigarettes, the way these work are they have, I guess they'll shut off after so many drags in a certain amount of time. Now, from what I've seen and read, that they'll take you can take 16 drags in a minute, which I don't know. I mean, that's a lot. You're just straight smoking for a minute. You have a 2 second break in between to do that. But anyways, they do have that mechanism in there to shut it off, and mine has something similar to that. And you'll see when I turn this on, this blue light will appear, and it will blink and then shut off, and that's its own safety measure so that I'm not on it for that set amount of time. But I don't take drags that long, so I don't ever have to worry about it. So yeah, that's my video. I hope I answered some questions you guys might have had or some current concerns. But if not, go ahead and comment on it. And if you liked it, subscribe, like my page. Just show me some love. Peace out.